good evening to all of you who are here for another session of Art Matters, which the Raza Foundation organizes in collaboration with the India International Center. I've forgotten the count now, but we have been there for nearly 4 years. And earlier on, we used to have panel discussions on subjects from culture and democracy to disappearing languages and such like. But more recently, we have converted the series into conversations with important artists, writers, theatremen, dancers of our time. We have had conversations with Kushan Khanna, with Arpita Singh, with Alarmil Valli, with Ashish Nandi, and such like. And today we are very happy to have finally got M.K. RAINA, a rather elusive character. This is the first one of a theatre man in conversation. All of you know M.K. RAINA too well. He had been one of our most important theatre persons, also a cultural activist. He had done remarkable work in theatre, not only in Hindi, but also in Punjabi and also in Kashmiri. And I remember with great fondness his early work in Madhya Pradesh, where he had come, and I think for the first time he did a theatrical rendering of Hindi poetry. You remember? Kohre mein aadmi ka dhabba. It was a line from Vinod Kumar Shukla. So M.K. RAINA is one of those theatre personalities who have been socially very active also, and alert and articulate and resistant. At the cost of being, of course, misunderstood or misinterpreted or occasionally attacked, etc. We have Madan Gopal Singh, who I think teaches or continues to teach, all I know.
Always teaches us.
Cinema or issues related to cinema in JNU, which is currently on the streets. And I have known him for a long time because he did some work for a money called Film on Muktibodh. In fact, both of them, RAINA in fact featured as a character in the film. And Madan Gopal Singh, he has been known as a very distinctive musician, neither belonging to the classical entirely, nor exclusively to the folk, but bringing in something in between. And so there you are. The rules of the game are simple. Madan Gopal Singh would be making, hopefully largely, RAINA to talk, which is, it can cover his theatrical vision, his cultural, social activism, his experiences, anecdotes. He had worked with many people, he had known many people closely, he had been a student of NSD, etc., and had been very active in Sehmat. So there is a vast range of activities, and the job of Madan Gopal would be to provoke RAINA to talk. And the conversation can go on for about 45 to 50 minutes, and then will be an opportunity for you in the audience to ask brief, witty, sharp questions. No opinions, no comments, etc. And with that, my job is over. I hand it over to Madan Gopal.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashokji. Um, I've known Raina Saab for a pretty long time, almost 40 years, huh? And I have always known him as an extraordinary man of extraordinary times. And he becomes even more extraordinary when the times are darkly extraordinary, as they are these days. And I have been working with him, under him, as a cultural activist for a fairly long period. I've worked with him also on stage. I have also been involved with him as some kind of a manual labor when, you remember when Satya Surta Admi was being made.
Yeah.
And then
We used to carry cans.
yeah. So we have together done all that work. Today, we were both separately in a protest march from Mandi House to Jantar Mantar. So that also explains somewhat the kind of associations and together and in separation we've had. I'm deeply sort of, interested, Raina Saab.
साहब तो बंद करो.
हाँ जी?
साहब बंद.
तो आदत है उसे जाने दीजिए. So I'm deeply interested, first of all, knowing a little something about the city, whether that city is still an imaginary, this Srinagar, where you spent your childhood, where you went to school and college, and you were a student of science, and then this break occurs, and then you decide to shift to Delhi, and shift very drastically. You get into a field which is almost nothing, or maybe something to do with sciences. When it comes to Kashmir, the first thing is the great imaginary that we have in our minds. I wonder whether you have that imaginary today.
No, it's still there. In fact, Kashmir is known for various reasons, but for me, it's like an umbilical cord. I have not just cut it. In fact, when 90s it erupted, and my family had to move. There was a lot of tragedy in the family. I lost my mother, etc. And I used to ask always one question to myself, that I am a cultural activist. I am founder of Sahmat. I've been to Ayodhya. We have taken on the right-wing forces head-on. And how come that I'm not going to Kashmir? How come? When do I go? And it was always, strange. I could never talk about it, but it was always waiting for an opportunity. There's a saying in Kashmiri, and that is, you should have a capacity to enter through a needle's hole. To shrink yourself. And when you come out, you should come through the elephant's gate. And that needle hole was not happening. But in 92, immediately after that, I took my first trip back to Kashmir, and it was a trip that saddened me. It was empty streets. I saw a dulha with two men and a mala walking to go and get married, and there was no singing. Performers were not performing. Folk artists were not. They left their performances. And to search for your own friends who were there, it was difficult to locate them. And I remember I went to Chashma Shahi, and there one gardener said me, I said, what a lovely rose. And he said in Kashmiri, he said, it looks good, but it's not good time to have this rose here. And next morning I took back flight. I couldn't take it, that emptiness. But it was a call, it was all the time. I was waiting for my opportunity. And I couldn't get right in the center of the valley. I came through Ladakh. I got an opportunity to go to Ladakh to do a theatre workshop. I said, yes, now at least I can say I'm in my own state. So I went there, we did a remarkable work there with local youngsters, actors, young girls, boys, and it was wonderful to have 40 of them, 22 girls, and the rest were boys. And that doesn't happen in Kashmir. It happens in Ladakh because it's a different kind of a community there. And I did perform there a play. There was no place to perform where you could perform. So it was, some of you are going to Leh, there is this Leh palace. And little bit on the main gate there are slopes. And down there is a gompa. I looked at it, I said to a friend of mine who was my colleague, I said, we will perform this folk story here. It's a Buddhist folk story, written by a Lama. We made him to write. It was all improvisation. There was no, Ladakhi said no theatre scripts, dramatic scripts. So there was this one story of 3 friends and a girl, and they go for some time, come back, and there's a fight in between them. But the sight was fantastic. The rocks, bare rocks at the palace at the back. And why do we get lights and other things? There's no way we didn't have funds. So we went to a kabadi shop of these motor mechanics and got those reflectors, those headlight reflectors. And we put little bit powerful bulbs into them and started creating. It was not still illuminating. So what we did, we created certain pools of fire on the landscape itself, and the performance happened. This created kind of a, and that was really when I met one driver, bus driver, who just got hold of me at the hotel gate. He said, "You're a Kashmiri?" I said, "Yes." I said, "I'm a driver," he said. And I remember him. He said, "Can you Kashmiri?" He said, "ये दुआ के लिए हाथ उठाओ." मैं क्यों, किस लिए? कि मैं मर जाऊं, मुझसे देखा नहीं जाता ये सब. ऐसे क्या बात करें आप ऐसे? Don't do it. It will change. Something will happen. This will be. Then I met another person who used to come in the morning, 5 glasses full of tea he used to take. And he मर जाएगा इतनी चाय पीता है. So I went and asked him, "Why do you take so much tea?" नहीं, you know, I am here bahana. I am on an official trip here for a bahana, but basically I can't go there. What I feel inside, I can't even express that. To my brother, to mosque जाता हूँ, नमाज पढ़ता हूँ, चुपचाप घर आता हूँ. So there were other people also there. All of them decided when RAINA leaves, we will also go back home. They were not exactly that happened, and they will come to my rehearsals. These rehearsals became kind of a international seminars every evening used to happen. I discovered when I used to rehearse on these rocks, and I found a lot of these people come in hamburgers. Why? Tourists. I asked them, "Why do you come every day here?" This one lady told me, "My dear, I am an actress from the National Theatre of Vienna." Oh, another Broadway writer, and his wife also a Broadway writer. And so they shifted to my hotel also, and we discussed and discussed. The point is, after that, I waited, when do I enter Kashmir? It happened one day that I was asked to do some kind of a television series, which was a bahana for me to do it quickly, series to connect with my people. And things were horrible. You will not believe what it was, It's very easy to write for a journalist. For a person who belongs and sees the faces of his own people, sees in front of him his crackdowns, and get yourself humiliated. Many times I was humiliated by him. They'll catch you, "Why are you here? Show me your pass." And to my friends. And sometimes my daughter came there once. She was doing a study. She was in tears one day, and she said, "Baba, you say everything's all right. What is all right here? I worked with Javed Chacha, and he was humiliated by this cop there, and they threw his identity card, and he had this Aadhaar card. What was it with that? Some card, voter card. And I didn't want to go to the garden. And I work as a child. What do you tell her? But what was happening? I was making my contacts with people, and one day I decided that NSD has an extension program. And they do, but they never go to Kashmir. They go all sorts of places. This director told me, "Devraj, Ankur, MK, we wanted to go to Chhattisgarh." I said, "Even Chhattisgarh mein. What is the big deal about Chhattisgarh? I wanted to in Kashmir. Can you support it?" He said, "Kya keh raha hai? Wahan kaun jayega?" I said, "Leave that to me. I will go." He said, "Done." And I must give me, he stood by his word for 3 years and started contact, journey, training, learning, understanding Kashmiri problems, and really I started becoming a good Kashmiri then. Before that it was not being a Kashmiri. And I must tell you, a lot of young graduates from National School of Drama did come to me, girls who stayed in a place you will not believe. It is, some of you must be going to Kashmir. It is 80 kilometers away from Srinagar, not Pahalgam side. You go left and the right, interiors in the mountains, where these bhands live, where these traditional performers live. And meeting them first was a completely shock to me. They were crying and crying when they saw me. They had not performed for 10 years. So this journey, Kashmir, is connect with me, and it is going on, it is still there. Whenever we get time and we do things.
Was it one of those workshops where you made me sing? If you remember?
Yes. Oh, yes. That was, yeah.
We stayed in her.
You see, I tell you, होता है ना कि अब एक दोस्त जब मिला तो दूसरा दोस्त भी मिल गया, फिर साथ चलने वाला तीसरा भी मिल गया, और उसमें से कुछ लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं मेरे पास. I have a dear friend here, Salim Beg, who is basically in the heritage. ये भी डर के मारे मुझे सुबह 9 बजे आएंगे दफ्तर जाने से पहले कि कैसा चल रहा है तेरा वर्कशॉप, because things were bad. Aditi is there, who's a South Delhi girl, and how she made friends with the people during crackdowns when people were being, those children were shot and stone pelting. How she could manage working with the locals to give us tapestry to make a costume. How will they bring it? When they will phone her, don't come now, come later, then behind the gully. And we made tailors to do the costume, fashion design, what you call it, the Mughal cuts, and the potters made properties for us, and the carpenters made, and the trunk maker made swords for us, and we trained, the whole village is trained now to take up any project we can have.
Raina Sahab, two things.
Long, actually, 15 years.
Two things. One is that I'm deeply interested in that bare city called Srinagar, and the equally sort of sparsely sort of populated cities such as Delhi, which eventually those days, I mean, there were very few people when he actually came to Delhi those days. And you had Sheikh Abdullah in one city, and you had the Nehruvian sort of dream in the other city. Of course, there was also, let's say, a kind of a utopia that we were dealing with. Within that utopia, you brought in too many dystopic texts. You were dealing a lot with, let's say, Bertolt Brecht, and you were dealing with Kabir, and especially these two. And you also sort of, I remember that extraordinary production of yours, Chekhov's Cherry Orchard. So could you sort of say something about the institution that you would come to, and how do you see those institutions being threatened today or taking a different sort of direction? What was the role of the institution, number one, and why did you choose these texts within those institutions?
Bomb. You see, I was science, biology, chemistry, hardcore graduate, and was very good student in my subject. But in my school, I had a principal who was one of the great poets of Kashmir. In fact, we are celebrating his 100 years. And he used to write beautiful poems for children, beautiful. I still remember some of those poems. One day he wrote a play called Neki Badi for children, where we performed. Well, kids, we were not visible on the stage, so they had to put a huge table so that we could be seen. And it is the year, I still have a mark here, they made mountains of the ply, and one fell on me and was hurt also. Was the time when we did this play, it was something very, very great thing that happened in Kashmir. This school did this play with birds and animals and all sorts of things. And it was like a Matter-link kind of a thing. But when I look back, this principal of mine, apart from being a poet, he had gone to China that time. And he used to always wear this Chinese Mao coat. So we had this figure in front of us, this tall guy with this. And he'll spend always Saturday was with the children and talked to us. And we did that play before a Russian delegation. Bulgan and Khrushchev had come. It was a big thing. And there used to be one thing called Jashn-e-Kashmir, and where every year this celebrations will take to schools, will participate, will be in the lake swimming and doing regatta, sports, will be performing. It used to be a great month in the Kashmir. And while that was happening, that I was really exposed, I was part of which I never became a writer, Young Writers Association. It was, I think, a progressive writers like Kamil Saab, Nadim Saab, and Rahi and others, great writers, and who sort of picked us up from the theatre, brought us in every Saturday, we'll write some silly story, and they will all listen to it, give their suggestions. But then they will also talk about us, for literature, what is adab, what is this, what is that. And that was always there till I came here. There were two things. One was the study and one other was doing plays. Then I became a child actor. Everybody needed a child in some place to get him. So I was child actor of the city. Then I came to college, I became the little mama of the college dramatic society. So I'll conduct things. We did Shakespeare, whatever we understood at that time of Shakespeare. And I also learnt music that time, classical music for 5 years. Gandharva Mahavidyalaya. Mudagalji used to be my examiner. And when I did Bada Khayal and he was in Tal, I missed the Tal a couple of times. But this upbringing has somehow flowered in National School of Drama, that kind of it was, because I had the complete hold of the basics of rags, Arohi, Avrohi, Tals and everything, and you will still remember it. And on the other side, composition and other things. And here was drama school, which was very tough school of drama. It was not a school that what we have today. We were 18 students and 8 passed out. 10 packed back home. They were packed or they failed. And every time you knew your teachers are watching all the time. There was no time, you will not believe it, you will not be caught doing something. We could never think of that we will miss a class. This was not in the vision. There was no question of missing a rehearsal. And we will start, say, at 30 our yoga class, and at a mid 12 in the night, and walk down from there. The buses never used to be. We used to be in this Dodi colony here. Barsatis used to have rooms, and we used to go to Shere Punjab, where you have now this fashion street merchant market. Shere Punjab used to give us food. All we used to do, give over 200 rupees to him. Lala ji, is sare paise rakho apne paas. He thought they are good boys, so we could eat anything. Lala ji, please, some money, we have to see a movie. Aap bhi aaja movie dekhne, so we'll get him with us. So, but the school was a big exposure to a kid like me who had not seen much of literature. But yes, what Kashmir provided me, that apart from my great teachers, was that I'd heard Begum Akhtar as a kid every year. I'd seen Briju Maharaj performing. I still remember he came to Tagore Hall straight from Moscow. It was announced to us, Moscow said Briju Maharaj. There were Amir Khan Sahab came once. Then, and I used to get an invitation card as a kid. It was a big thing. My cousins were so jealous of it. Card aata tumhe milne ke liye. And when I used to come back alone, there were no street lights. And I used to be scared coming home. So I'll go the long route where there were lights and I'll come home back. And there in the window will be my grandmother. She will not sleep. And she will only tell me one thing. Aa gaya? Haan, aa gaya. Achha. Then she used to tell my father, "Tum iski ye bacha pata nahi kya karta hai," वगैरह. So that institution, the National School of Drama, their teachers, great thing about those teachers, they had come from a freedom experience. They had come from IPTA. They had come from, like Alkazi had come from England, and he had done a lot of theatre in Bombay under very less circumstances. There was no money for him, and he created plays there. And we would be sharing all these experiences along with freedom movement, IPTA, progressive movement, what they used to do, what happened there, what happened here, what happened when we did, what was Central Shanta Gandhi. I became almost Daktak Putra of Shanta Gandhi because I was interested in this lady. She had left her home and gone to Central Scott. Then she was with Uday Shankar, and then I saw the picture of Ravi Shankar, little boy playing star in Almora, and these stories were very important for my growth because in Kashmir we never had things like that to tell me. So this exposure, along with less money and big productions, like Purana Kila, open air theatre. In fact, the Meghdoot theatre, what you see, we had to do after classes a labor. Tokriyan, khudar leke, Al-Qazi himself, teachers themselves, will dig and make the theatre. What you have Meghdoot today is a very great productions happened in that space, but it was made by students' manual labor because there was no money in the school.
Will I be right in assuming or saying that you were a part of this larger sort of, dream of institution building which was happening? In fact, you were in a place where there was a lot of Nehruvian sort of, for instance, architecture. Ram is here. He's done some work on this. There is this entire academy building where you have Lalit Kala and you have Sangeet Natak Academy and you have Sahitya Academy, and right across you had your National School of Drama, and they were, all
You
this.
see, what was the time like?
Yeah.
Leaders will come without any information, buy ticket
Kya
and
baat.
see a play.
Yeah.
I remember Zakir Hussain Sahab had to come see Godan, which was the first play of the Meghdoot. He was late, but we started our play, and he said sorry to our director. There was nothing, it's like Dr. Karan Singh, Gujral Sahab, all of them, even socialist leaders, George, they will all come, you suddenly see them, and they'll be normal human beings. They'll come and meet you, hello. It was not. Today you can't dream that kind of a relationship. I saw it in Kerala a few years back. I went there to meet Mr. Kurup, who passed away recently, great poet. He told me you have to meet Ajukodin. He's a great public speaker, great man, and there was a threat on him by RSS that time, it was 90s, that will kill him. And there was this students, thousands, he said, we will encircle him till he does his speech. Nothing will happen to him. And I wanted, this build-up was going to be for 2 days, and suddenly in the morning, Mr. Kurup comes and come. I scored in his head, I will meet you. And I go to his room, tiny little room in a small little, and he was doing his shave with brush with a little mirror which was hung on the wall, and I thought it is one of his cronies doing shave. He will come in. So I was waiting, and suddenly I saw 2 ministers arriving on sports and education minister. They talked in Malayali. So I said, oh my God, this is this man. And then came tea. Tea came in that pinny, 6 glasses in that stand, and all of us said, and they were talking, and I asked myself, is it possible in South India, North India? Can a minister go to the tiny little hotel in Paharganj and meet a great man there, and great man will be sitting there? It's not possible. But these are pointers to a person who is making his own self, that this was the time in Delhi. Times were like that. Today you can't. Can't imagine. Even Mr. Advani used to come to my place to watch. I remember one day he told me, Raina ji, he had been given seats 12th row or something. He said, I came बहुत पहले में आया, लेकिन उन्होंने मुझे बहुत गलत जगह दी. मेरे साथ रुके मैं देता हूँ. So that was the times. I don't see him now seeing plays either.
एक पर्सनल सवाल पूछें आपसे.
हाँ जी.
आपकी.
What you Nehruvian? These are the. What to talk about Nehruvian? These are the seeds that
Yes,
Nehruvian
absolutely.
era has sown, and today, when I marched today in this protest, I suddenly saw that energy of syncretic people together, and Afghanis, Japanese, Indians from all sides, and suddenly roses came up. Thousands of roses were on our hands, the students were marching, and some kid came to me, thank you for coming. I said, no, it's my duty to watch that there is still the energy in us all. We are here. A lot of artists were there. I was not alone there. There were many, many artists came there.
नहीं मैं पर्सनल सवाल पूछ लूँ.
ज़्यादा पर्सनल नहीं पूछना.
नहीं ये है कि आपकी रेपुटेशन है कि हार्ड टास्क मास्टर हो और डांट भी बड़ी पड़ती है, पर आप मुझे ये बताएं कि मैंने एक तो अंजू को भी कोई डांट पड़ते हुए नहीं देखी, और आपने मुझे भी नहीं डांटा. आई वाज सच ए टेरेबल परफॉर्मर, वेरी स्टिफ ऑन स्टेज.
देखो एक चीज याद रखिएगा आप, जब बड़ी मछली पकड़नी होती है ना, इट इज अ हंट. उसको आप धागा डाल के तो फंस गई, फासबुक लग गया, कांटा लग गया, हिम्मत नहीं करोगे तो you will get her immediately. You wait. वो छटपटाता है, हैं? तो अब फंसा हुआ है कांटा, शाम तक थक जाता है तो आराम से आप इसके धागे को यूं करके उठा लाते हैं. सर आपको स्टेज में लाना वही एक चीज था. मंजीत बाबा in the play with us, and dancing and acting and dholak playing. But it was honor also. You must see when you get good talents,
absolutely.
and who are your great friends who support you. And like I remember Mickey Patel, when I was doing first run of my play Kabira, he used to come in the evening in the watch rehearsals quietly and make drawings. And he created an exhibition for himself. But those drawings are with me still. He gave me those. He said, "Ye tera, magar ye nahi tera dunga." And that is a legacy. That is the fraternity which needs to be woven again into act. Because, pardon my saying, what has happened is whole crass commercialization that has come. Like theatres have become very costly. Like artists have become very costly. You can't buy their paintings or look at them. I think we need to little bit, loosen ourselves at times, go back to those roses which give a lot of fragrance to the people.
Absolutely. May I shift gear a little bit? You were probably the first one from National School of Drama to do a film in Bombay.
Yes.
Probably the first one. Or maybe the first one.
No, I think Om Shipuri was
Om Shipuri was the first one.
He was already there.
The first, your initial sort of, foray into cinema was, of course, art house cinema largely. And in all the three films that you did, you were sort of, doing roles of, for instance, your first one was almost a film on a wheel, on sort of, the rail tracks, and without a home, actually. I mean, in a manner of speaking. There's a sense of homelessness, which is, again, sort of to an extent, followed up in Satya Surta Admi. It is also, to an extent, Sufiized in, let's say, Kasbah. So initially, and I find it very fascinating because your own life also is it's a kind of a series of displacements, firstly shifting base from Srinagar to Delhi, and then going there was a kind of not going back, but being sort of cut off and then going back, and then working with the Bhans there. Now I want you to sort of look at first of all look at this whole idea of being displaced, joyously and also painfully as a trauma, in your own life, and if it is possible to link it up with let's say your work in cinema. And
you see, I think principle of displacement is very important for any creative act.
Absolutely.
Therefore, you have to be displaced, and you should that time celebrate that displacement, because it brings a different kind of an energy into you. It brings a different kind of challenge to you. If you are comfortable and everything comes to you, you don't know the rough roads, you don't know the heat, temperature of the landscapes you are working. You will be doing a thing, but it will not be, its heat will not be ever felt. Right?
Yeah.
So I think, मैं तो अपने बारे में ये भी कहता हूँ, मैं तो पता नहीं मैं खुशकिस्मत हूँ कि बदकिस्मत हूँ, जब भी riots होते हैं मैं बीच में होता हूँ. When 84 happened, I was right there.
Absolutely.
For 3 months then I was left everything and was doing that. Kashmir 90 happened, I was there. Then Delhi riots, when Safdar also was killed, we were there. The first person, me and Anju went there to see his condition. But then that, you should be able to store that energy and that pain and that agony you go through, and not to become angry, but to do a synthesis of it.
It is also a little, sort of at times, very painful, because I remember that night when you were traveling from close to Anantnag, maybe you were working with the Bhans, and that night Anant was also there, I think.
No, Aditi was with us, and there were other people.
And you were traveling, and your caravan had been attacked, if you remember. And it was a murderous attack, actually.
It was a horrible attack.
It was a horrible attack.
They said you can go, don't go, and finally they said go, and the moment we moved our car, and the rocks, those stream rocks, were fired from all sides. And within luck, it was sheer luck that we had our bags, and we just ducked in with those bags, and after a minute we were all in glass. And tragedy was when we were so happy when we did that workshop, and we had done a production of King Lear with the bands, and we were so excited because almost 5,000 people, young people, women, children, old men, watched this play on the hill, and we were performing the. And we had no electricity for 1 month because so we used to have candle, and that was the evening, and go sleep and do. So we thought now we have to go to Dara Shiku festival from there. That is, Jyoti was waiting in Srinagar, that they are coming the evening and we will have a good. But then this happened. I phoned them. I said we'll be late now. We are.
But you performed that night.
No, not that night. That night we came. I remember I fell asleep afterwards. And suddenly I was woken up by someone. Hey, Srinagar aa gaya. I said, yeah, light hai. And then then we were there. After 3 days, group came and we performed there. But these experiences, you see, you can get killed anywhere. What is the accident can happen, anything. You can't romanticize this. But fact, this was not one incident. There were crossfire incidents where I was caught when the whole building was under crossfire and big fire. In 2005, that whole tourist center was burning, and there was I in Director General to the reception room alone, and it took me for time to comprehend, can I get out of or not? And this was room of Mr. Beg, and we were that day going to celebrate next day, Musfarabad bus going and receiving the bus with music and other things. But that experience, but we just bounced back. By evening, I remember that's a whole long story, but we bounced back. We have to do what we have to do. Yes, I lost a lot of hearing power from this side. So that was, which I realized much later, something has happened.
I today realize that you are a dangerous person to work with. I didn't know that.
Around.
I didn't know.
No, but one thing I tell you, the people, the tension that happened. I'll tell you 2 incidents. When those boys were being killed, you remember those 125 boys were shot in the town pelting. I was supposed to go to Banas in the university to conduct an interview, and my driver told me we leave at 5 in the morning. Once you're on the highway, nobody will touch you. So we had to cross Anantnag to reach the highway. So it was at 4 in the morning, fine. When I reached that gully, and there were the police. Was it dandas? कहा जा रहे कौन है तू? I told मेरे पास जाना है मुझे. पकड़ के मतलब कबूतर की तरह पकड़ा, दे मार टांगों पर, उसको भी, ड्राइवर को भी, मुझको, और कोई था ही नहीं हमारे साथ. And suddenly we realized what has happened. They are not letting us do anything. Finally they said, get out, go back. हाँ, वापस जब गए तो झरने पर हमने अपनी ये ब्लीडिंग ज़रा साफ करने लगी. It was early morning and people were getting away. क्या हुआ आप लोगों को, कहाँ से आ रहे हो? अरे यार ऐसा हो गया भाई. Then I said, but I'm भी पागल. हम वापस जाते, हमने कहा यार जाना है. And they showed us the way from village. It was a long way to cross 2 riverbeds and cross the highway. But what was beautiful, not beautiful, was that every moment we had to ask for a कहाँ से जाना है? नहीं अभी चाय पी लो, अभी कहाँ इतनी जल्दी जाओगे? And then came an incident which I never forget. I have written it in my diary. One boy who had been shot dead, and early morning they had buried him. They were all elders were there in the graveyard, and Fateh chal raha tha. I stopped. I got down for a few minutes. They looked at me because it was a strange face and so remote village inside. And I went to the grave, just stood there for a few minutes. I don't know why, but I felt I must do it. Stood there for some minutes, and my driver said something with a lot of pain. He said, हिंदी में उसको कहेंगे, पंगा ले शहर के और बलि दे गाँव वाला. With a lot of pain. And he said, चलो सर अब चलते हैं. We went. But people have always stood my security there. I was told by a lot of friends, take police security रखो, ऐसा नहीं. I said, no, bhaiya, once you take that, you're a sitting duck. That's not the way. And I could not ever think going to city where I have done demonstrations, I was from college student. I go with a cop to my mohalla. What will they think about me? And that was not the relationship I was searching. I wanted, like, I'm baby of this city and it's my place. And that has been, and today, I mean, I can say with a lot of confidence that many a times I get calls from people, from groups, from sometimes from the government to ask for advice. How should we go about it? How should we go about that? And in fact, this government wanted me back. You come back and take over. I said, job is not, people should not misunderstand. I was thinking for a job now. Sari umar job nahi kiya. So people are very important. The trust that you give to the people. And you come with an account book which is absolutely open. They know what is happening.
राणा साहब, पंगा से मुझे याद आया कि ये 1976 में आपने ये क्या पंगा लिया था कि आपने एक प्ले कर दिया पंजाबी में, वो भी बेटोल ब्रेक्स की टेक्स्ट लेके कॉकेशन चौक सर्कल, वो भी उस वक्त के जो बड़े रेडिकल पोइट्स हैं जो जेलों वेलों में रह के आए थे, जिनमें अमरजीत चंदन भी था, अमितोष भी था और पाश भी था और सुमित था जिसका कत्ल हुआ सिख मिलिटेंट्स के जरिए। ये क्या, और फिर वो प्ले जो है वो रोक भी दिया गया। कुछ थोड़ा सा इसके
रोक क्या गया मैं बताऊंगा क्या होता है। टू बी ऑनेस्ट, इमरजेंसी का ज़माना था। We were young. I never realized emergency means so much to the state. M.K. RAINA means something to them. It was never in my dream even. I was doing Bertolt Brecht, बढ़िया गाने। अभी मदन एक दो गाने सुनाएंगे उसमें से आपको, क्योंकि उन्होंने उसमें गाया था। तो we got fantastic response from countryside. I mean, आम खास बाग एक मुगल गार्डन है वहाँ पटियाले के पास, 25,000 लोग प्ले देख रहे हैं आपका। Pin drop silence. We were touring and in between what happened, जो ही हम पहुंच गए कहाँ, पठानकोट, न्यूज़ केम, स्टॉप द प्ले। क्यों, क्या हो गया? नहीं, इट्स बैड, प्ले नहीं कर सकते। तो हम पहुंच गए, बट आई मस्ट टेल यू दैट टाइम दैट वाज द नैरो एरा स्टिल, उसकी थोड़ा सा बचा खुचा जो था ना। आई केम वेरी एंग्री दिल्ली में आके यहाँ पर एक न्यूज़ आइटम निकला, दिस प्लेस हैज़ बीन बैंड, M.K. RAINA हैज़ बीन पर्सन नॉन ग्रेटा। बिलीव मी, आई डिड नॉट नो द मीनिंग ऑफ पर्सन नॉन ग्रेटा, व्हाट इट मीन। तो मैं मतलब क्या हुआ? कहता अब तू जेल जा सकता है। खैर हो गई बात। आई रश टू चंडीगढ़ टू आस्क इंचार्ज डायरेक्टर जनरल थी उसकी एक टूरिज्म की, रवनीत को, वन ऑफ द फाइन municipal servants who made this repertory first time in the country. State was making a repertory. We had it in the whole program of what we still wanted. That manifesto is it. We call the manifesto of the repertory. She said, I can't do. CM has been told us this. So they told me, you go to the principal secretary or somebody in the secretariat. I went. I met this man at 10:30. He said, sit down. Beta, कब आया तुम? I said, मैं रात को आया। चाय पियो, पी लो तुम, चाय बिस्किट, I remember giving me biscuits. And he said, sir, but tell me, what is, it's a play which is so popular, everybody loves it, it's a play, you see. He just pulled his drawer and showed me a handwritten script of some mischievous theatre person who had put foul language in it. And this was given to Chief Minister and he said, ban this play. Now then we came to know who were this theatre. But this, and he said to me, तुम कहाँ जा रहे हो यहाँ से? मैं कभी यहीं हूँ। कहता नहीं बेटा, remember, I still remember, I tell you the person now, you know him, which I tell you later, how I came to know he was him. He told me, पंजाब नहीं जाना, सीधे यहाँ गाड़ी पकड़ के दिल्ली जाना, otherwise I have to arrest you. Almost you will be picked up. Then I said, अच्छा, तब समझ आया कि पर्सन नॉन ग्रेटा क्या होता है, तब तो पता। तो मैं कहा अच्छा सर, खत्म हो गया, मैं आया वापस। But I met Mr. Al-Qazi. It had become a news by then. He asked me what happened. I said, this happened, and he took the photographs from me. He said, I will talk to the government here. But nothing happened because by that time things were so bad. And then I got a letter on NSD address. The Delhi, क्या होता था उन दिनों? लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर को तब क्या कहते थे? chief metropolitan councillor
yes.
wants to meet you on this that and that day. तो मैंने कहा क्या मतलब है, लकीली हमारा एड्रेस था ही नहीं यहाँ, एड्रेस तो क्योंकि साइनस भेज दी। मैं गया पोएट सर्वेश्वर जी के पास, मैंने सर इसको समझाए क्या? कहता बेटा खिसक जाए यहाँ से, ये इसका मतलब है ही विल अरेस्ट यू।
ऑफ कोर्स।
तो कारण ये तो था ही, लेकिन कारण ये था कि मैं जब पहला प्ले किया जिंदगी का, दैट वाज Gorky's Lower Depths. I had refused an award, which was, there was a lot of bungling, and on the stage I said, I don't deserve this award you had given me, because that those judges have not seen this play. And it became a big hangama, and he wanted to settle both this time. But he never got me. I just left. मैं कानपुर आया, फिर बेटा कानपुर में। तो ये काफी चीजें होती थी।
मैं मतलब
बट उसका उस प्ले का मजेदार ये है कि I revived it later. We got 6 awards out of 7 awards of Punjabi Academy later. Is that the people who were that time with me, a team, was a lovely team of poets and radicals. Amit was a poet, a progressive writer. Amarjit Chandan is in London, a very radical poet. You know, his poetry is very spirited poetry now. Then there was Sumit, was a fantastic short story writer, and they opened me doors of Punjab to me. Its legacy, for example, Sumit belonged to a family of Preetnagar. Preetnagar is a history like Tagore's Preetnagar. I met his grandfather when he said, "Toto kaka, ab hum to ab khandar ho gaya hai." That Preetladi magazine, there were those. All writers had houses there. Balraj Sahni had a house there. Achla Sachdev, Bedi, Faz, Madanjit Singh. All these greats you see that time, this was their home. Punjab's intellectual home was there because Punjab was not divided. And the irony, when it got divided, 7 days Preetnagar became Pakistan. And after 7 days it came back to Hindustan. So there, all these, in my room, which was a adda basically, we'll be talking about all kinds of things, and they will fight about a single line. The point, no, that's not a line. Ye line nahi, changi nahi aegi, AIC hogi. But unfortunately, 2 of them were shot dead by Khalistanis. One was Sumit, and another was Pash. Even Amarjit, he was hounded in England by Khalistanis. Then the Scotland Yard had to come to sort of put him in.
ये तो आप
अभिव्यक्ति के खतरे उठाने होंगे।
तो वो मुझे ये लगता है कि इन्होंने एक गड़बड़ की थी उसमें। जब मैंने वो प्ले देखा है 1976, देयर वाज दिस डेमोलिशन गोइंग ऑन इन तुर्कमान गेट, और उधर डेमोलिशन चल रही थी। मैं आया इनका प्ले देखने के लिए, उसके अंदर एक लाइन थी, ओना मेला होते आपा कब्जा करना जिन्ना रल के साडी कुल्ली सी ढवाई। So we are going to capture these palaces, the palaces that are responsible for the demolition. अब आप उसके बाद आप मतलब प्ले बैन ना हो तो क्या हो?
तो धुन तो बहुत अच्छी थी,
पोएम भी बहुत अच्छी थी, और ये इसको कहते हैं ना पंगा।
नहीं, पंगा तो दूसरा हुआ था, एक बताऊंगा मैं। अरे ड्रामा करें हम, डायरेक्टर हैं, हम क्या करेंगे? उसमें कानून उल्टा हुआ, कू हुआ है सारा। वो पागल जज बैठा हुआ इंसाफ करा गरीबों के लिए। बिफोर ही सिट्स ऑन द जज सीट, ही हैज दिस बुक ऑफ लॉ इज रिटन, उस पर लिखा है कानून। तो हमने उसके पीछे टेक के लिए वो लगाई, लेकिन उसको उल्टा किया, उल्टा था सारा। So I think these were the things. There is a picture of Amarjit has taken of mine in that. मैं बैठा हूँ सर लेके, यूँ बैठा किताब यहाँ।
अच्छा, वैसे आप बताएं, आपने इनाम का जिक्र किया, आपको पद्मश्री पद्म भूषण क्यों नहीं मिला? ये भी कुछ बता दें आप। आपका नाम तो बहुत दफा रिकमेंड हुआ।
तुमने किया होगा वैसे तो मेरा कोई खैर ख्वाह ऐसा तो है नहीं। खैर अब उसमें कोई मोह भी नहीं रहा।
अब तो लेना नहीं है सर,
वो देंगे भी नहीं, उनको पता उसका क्या असर होगा। नहीं, anyway that's a trivial matter because I don't think this bloody awards you remember. हर जगह जाते हैं तो कुछ ना कुछ तगमा देते हैं आपको, घर में जगह नहीं होती आपको रखने के लिए। पीछे मैंने अपने मेरे घर में जो काम लड़का करता मैं करो भी उठाए सारे, 2 ठीक है मेरे, जो मेरे पीस ने दिए एकेडमी अवार्ड, दे मीन मी टू मी सर, बट बाकी उठा यहाँ कौन उठा के बिली मी नीचे वो डस्टबिन की टोकरी में, कहते बाबा तुम कर क्या रहे हो? नहीं यार कुछ नहीं, जगह नहीं यार, रहने दो। You should not look at the gallery, those वो बकवास है सारा।
I want to praise you a little now. Shut up. Much before Haider, opened up with those huge outsized puppets, you had started working with puppets in with the bands. Would you say something about that? Why
No,
did you
actually those? You see, now we are not talking here. Otherwise, there should be. We should see them. Puppetry walked into my place out of necessity, and they became many times a part of my work, and it created new images and metaphors for me. And it started with a play by Asghar Wajahat called Veer Gati. There had to be lot of girls for a swayamvar. Now, how do you get a girl to come and stand और बम्बई जाना, तो मैं बेचारी बस खड़ी रहेगी, तो होने ना, मैं कल लड़कों को घाघरे पहनने पड़ेंगे सबको, पड़े जुड़ा, वो भी। Then when I was talking, I got a lovely idea. I said, we get these puppets in the hands of the fathers, and they have come for the swayamvar of the daughter, and each father is singing in praise of the daughter, and we're marionette paper, giant glove puppet, and it was a riot scene. Whenever we did the scene, it used to be applause and applause, because it was there. Then I started building. I did Andhayug. Andhayug mein there is a possibility of a puppeteer. I saw you can do that scene anytime. That there's a dream sequence when Ashwatthama sees that dream that owl is attacking the crow, and he says Satya mil gaya, and he attacks. Now anybody can do. What is a big deal? About स्कूलों में सारे मास्टर करते हैं, ऐसा नहीं. This is where the principle of war turns upside down, and it has to have a scale and size which should be different. I hit upon an idea of leather puppets. I'll get made from Andhra these leather puppets, and they will do it. But that became a little difficult to make them. Then I asked my friend, apna Dadi. Dadi said, we will do it in very thin plywood, and because they will have buoyancy also, and these puppets were 4 actors with big bamboo hits. It used to become 10 feet, 15 feet high. Wings, one wing, one sheet, and one the body, and he had these 4 people, making the movement of it, and it created different kind of it changed the whole play. It changed the character. Then it came in my another play. I use masks, which is part of the language of theatre. But these puppets have moved into theatre, and I have a dialogue with them all the time.
Okay, so something about Kabir also, I mean, what was this special fascination? Of course, one of the things was that there was this text by Bhishamji. So that was one. And that was this fascinating music by Panchal Saab.
Yes. The story of he is also involved in that. He doesn't know it even. You see.
Why Kabir?
You see, क्या होता था, मध्य प्रदेश हमारे लिए एक ग्राउंड बन गया था, ग्राउंड जीरो, अशोक जी के टाइम पे. A lot of great work used to happen there. We used to just come to workshops, do production. They would do festivals, move from Indore to Ujjain, from Ujjain to Bhopal, Bhopal to Raipur or Sagar. And at that time, शाम को अड्डा लगता था. You see, अड्डा is very important. And अगर अड्डा के साथ खाना पीना हो तो आप सूफी हो जाते हैं. और अच्छा खाना, सूफी अच्छे खाने में बिलीव करते हैं, इसलिए उनके तकिए पर जो ये लंगर होता है 24 घंटा कश्मीर में चलता है. अभी भी जाइए, लंगर लगे हैं. तो हमारे तो तकिए पे ये थे. शाम को हम अशोक जी के यहाँ पहुँचते थे. वहाँ पर it was a privilege to meet lot of lovely poets. We used to meet Bhagwat ji, we used to meet अपना रावत होते थे, रावत होते, शॉर्ट स्टोरी राइटर सत्यन कुमार होते थे. तो हम सब फ्लाइटों पे लगे हुए थे, और अगर आपने थोड़ा सा मदिरा भी लगाए तो और फ्लाइट जाती है आपकी. तो तब शुरू हुआ कबीर करना चाहिए, कबीर करना. तो सुन रहे थे हम. एक दिन मुझे है सत्यन में और पता नहीं कोई 3 घंटे हम खाना खा रहे हैं कबीर का. नहीं, ये प्रिज्म की तरह बनाएंगे इसको, तो इट टर्न्स एब्स्ट्रैक्शन में सोच रहे क्या होगा. चला, इतने में पता चला कि भीषम जी ने एक प्ले लिखा है कबीर, जो उन्होंने कारंत जी को दिया था. कारंत जी ने कहा मैं नहीं करूँगा यहाँ की, वॉट एवर हैपन. राजेंद्र नाथ के पास पहुंच गया तो उन्होंने भी नहीं किया। तो मैंने अपने दोस्तों में कहा यार ये स्क्रिप्ट मिल सकती है, हम भी पढ़ ले, क्या है इसमें, क्योंकि यहाँ से तो ये हुआ था ना, एक इंजेक्शन आया था। मैंने जब पढ़ा पॉसिबिलिटीज बहुत दिखी टेक्स्ट में, मगर ये गड़बड़ था उसमें, पद बहुत कम ही थे ही नहीं ऑलमोस्ट। मैंने कहा यार कमाल है, कबीर और पद नहीं, और उस वक्त कुमार गंधर्व के वो ईपी त्रिवेणी तो तूफान मचाया था, तो वो भी दिमाग में गया। तो ये चलता रहा चलता, मैं भीष्म जी तो बड़े राइटर, कैसे कहेंगे उनको कि सर ये क्या क्या। देन ऐसे वे इंटेलेक्चुअल्स जैसे बात करना, we'll have a dinner, we'll have to Madra, I'll play these tapes. I had a lot of कबीर भाई folk singers of बनारस, एक मछुआरे का भी था, एक तारे में टाइम टाइम कर रहा था, तो मैंने बजाना शुरू किया। मैं कहा नाउ ऐसे भीष्म जी, उनको भी मज़ा आया सुनने में म्यूज़िक। मैं देखा ये सर भी हिला रहे हैं, मज़ा भी आ रहा है, बट प्ले में नहीं लिखा, व्हाट इज़ द रीज़न। तो मैंने कहा भीष्म जी कैन यू टेल मी द व्हाट इज़ द थियोरेटिकल एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ योर प्ले, बड़े बड़े वर्ड में, इंटेलेक्चुअली व्हाई इज इट एब्सेंट इन योर टेक्स्ट एंड इन योर नैरेटिव। कहता क्या कह रहा है तू? मैं कहा सर कबीर के पद नहीं है तो क्या आपको, क्या रीजन क्या है इसका, कोई रीजन? तो कहता रीजन कुछ नहीं यार, मुझे आया ही नहीं करना वो। तो मैंने कहा तो आप इसके अगेंस्ट नहीं? करता नहीं यार, क्या कसम क्या ये सुना हो, मतलब अगर मैं करूं और मैं उसमें कुछ पद करूं, हाँ कर दे तो हो गया, इसको करना मिलेगी ना लाइसेंस हमको। अब ये हुआ कि कौन करेगा म्यूजिक। फिर हम पहुंच गए इंदौर, मनी कॉल, मैं, अशोक जी, वहाँ वो हम क्या दुनिया था मैगजीन में, नई दुनिया वहाँ जो राहुल बापुते वगैरह थे, ये बड़े बड़े तोपे हैं मध्य प्रदेश की। तो उनके शाम की बड़ा खाना ना, सुबह गाड़ी में अशोक जी की हम सभी, मनी, मैं और ये आ रहे हैं, और इन्होंने कुमार जी को फ़ोन किया देवास में हम मिलने आ रहे हैं आपको सुबह। उन्होंने कहा अच्छा चाय पीने आए। तो हम पहुँच गए वहाँ। कुमार जी मेरे लिए तो पिलग्रिमेज, कुमार जी की तो इमेज हमारी। हम कॉरिडोर में, उनके थोड़ा सा कॉरिडोर था, फिर मुड़ के कमरा था। कॉरिडोर के उसे वहाँ डबल बैरल गन देखे मैंने यार डबल बैरल तानपुरे कहाँ है? अंदर से आवाज है कुमार जी अंदर आओ तानपुरे भी दिखेंगे। बैठे फिर मैच लोगे को, तो फिर मैं थोड़ा सा हिम्मत करके पूछा उससे, मैं ऐसा कर रहा हूँ, आप म्यूजिक करेंगे? कर देंगे, क्या है कर देंगे। हम बड़े साथ में आसमान पे पहुँचे करेंगे। फिर मैं जब यहाँ आया, मेरे और एक मित्र हैं फिल्म मेकर, उनका नाम है कुमार शानी। मैंने कुमार ऐसा होने वाला है ये, तो ये जस्ट नॉट एंथ्यू अबाउट इट। मैंने कहा कुछ लगा नहीं ठीक तुमको? कहने लगा तुम्हारा कभी तो जो तूने मुझे बताया प्ले वो तो फोक है, तुम क्लासिकल में क्यों फंस रहा है, और तुम्हें इट विल नॉट जेल विथ इट। आई नहीं, यू हैव अ पॉइंट। So then I went to my teacher, who was a great folk music composer, Panjanand Pathak, and was from UP, from Allahabad. तो उसने कहा चल घर चल, वहाँ और पद दिखा देते हैं तुमको। And then he composed that music, and we had no money, no payments, nothing. But those were the times we did, and great music.
Haunting music. I mean, कोई प्रेम के पेंग चाहो, वो क्या गजब था।
हाँ, लेकिन इसमें पढ़ाई मुझे बहुत करनी हुई। 6 महीने मुझे पढ़ना पड़ा कबीर, नो दैट आई टेक अ सबैटिकल। जितनी किताबें थी वो पढ़ रहे थे, फिर मैंने वो पद सारे कितनी रखे कमरे में भर के। अब देखिए ये होता है प्ले में, अगर आपको पिरोना है म्यूज़िक को गाने पर, आप इतना एब्स्ट्रैक्ट नहीं कर सकते, पब्लिक को तो यूँ समझना है ना, एसेंस पकड़ना है। तो आपका जो सिलेक्शन होगा, चयन जो आप करेंगे वो समझ के करना है। But when do you do that also? You have to keep an idea of the theme of the play, structure of the play, which will go with the structure of the music. Those 2-3 things you have to take a decision. What will follow what? And वो बाद में, that was my decision. Which song can be put where, which song can be put where, and that kind of a structure we followed. And then he responded that very well.
ये जो एंटी कम्युनल सिर्फ एक एजेंडा है, एक जो फ्रंट है, और कबीर उसमें हो चुका है, जब रेजिस्टेंस का जो पूरा का पूरा एक लंबा जो एक कॉन्टेक्स्ट है जिसमें आपने ब्रेक्ट किया है, और गोरकी किया और कबीर किया, और उसके बाद एक वो भी था दूसरा
कर्मा वाली
भी किया।
नहीं
और
प्ले तो मैं शर्माता हूँ कहने में, आप हंसोगे अगर मैं नंबर ऑफ प्लेस है
जी 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 बिल्कुल
इज मोर देन 190.
उसका और आपकी
Yeah, because I did not know it. I was becoming a fellow at the Hawaii University.
I know.
They want you year-wise what you have written, how many dialogue, how many the articles you have written, which page, which publication, which date. So it was a huge. And then when it came, I first time मुझे शर्म आती है कि यार ये कुछ ज़्यादा ही हो गया. Then I slowed. नहीं यार इतना ज़रूरत करने की नहीं है. वो रियाज के लिए चलता है ठीक, but it was too much. But yes.
नहीं but ये
But
दो
I had to do new playwrights also while we were in class. I used to always have every year a new Hindi playwright. I had to do, or a Kashmiri playwright.
एक तरफ ये इस किस्म का जो पूरा का पूरा प्रोडक्शन और उसमें आपकी क्रिएटिव जो इन्वॉल्वमेंट, दूसरी तरफ जो है आप एज अ कल्चरल एक्टिविस्ट एंड एज एन इंटरलोक्यूटर becoming involved in the day-to-day challenges which you come across in various forms, जो सड़कों पे होता है, जिसको लेके आप हिंदुस्तान सारा घूमे, especially after the demolition of Babri Mosque. इनफैक्ट उससे पहले ही आपने शुरू किया था ये आर्टिस्ट अगेंस्ट कम्युनलिज्म. इस पे कुछ थोड़ा सा आप बताएं.
देखिए, आई थिंक एज अ क्रिएटिव पर्सन एंड माई क्रिएटिव फेटर्निटी, we can't live without having pulse on the community and the nation and politics. You don't have to join a political party, but you can't be deaf and dumb what is happening. For performing artist becomes all the more reason that he performs his time and space. Whatever he creates, it has to be created in the time and space we live in. Otherwise, क्या है फिर तो you are a dead body then. There's nothing in you. The opposition should think that you can get away with it. Never they should think that you can browbeat Constitution of India. I think we were not vigilant. State was not vigilant during our Babri Masjid demolition. That was a conspiracy against the very principle of democracy, and that may come in a different form. But I think we have to be vigilant to these trends and changes that take place. Yes, it will be a problem.
But 84, when you came out on streets, I do remember, it was a very, very risky thing to do, which was those times.
You see, it was my group. The first procession we took on is 30 kids. We came from Murcha, and then we started taking Zulus round. Then, from there, you see, you can't only criticize, you can't only मैं play करूँगा और कुछ नहीं करूँगा. You have to serve. वो जो सेंट्स कहते हैं हिंदुस्तान की ना, सेवा करना है तुम्हें. That time I left theatre for 3 months and I was only with a group of people and we were serving these camps. भीख मांगते लोगों को, गाड़ी दे दो, जरा चावल दे दो, and it came in abundance. People gave it and we had to distribute it. But that experience gives you something else indirectly. It impacts you indirectly. And I was being told by my friends, street play karo. I can't do. This is too complex to make it a street play. It's not that easy. But after 90 crisis came your Karma Wali. I went back to Mantu. I think Mantu to aap sabhi kar rahe, we did it then. But I was looking Mantu as a writer. What did he get in this division of India? He got nothing. Got cases up and down. And I did play that at Bharat Bhavan only. And communalism, partition, Dalit problem, they bother me. They bother me very much. In fact, I am reading today, courtesy Anand, he got a book for me called Annihilation of the Caste. And he shakes your head. What is this gentleman writing? What is Ambedkar talking about? Why is this India in crisis? What are the reasons for it? And we have not even looked at it. How to do it. We have to, nation has to post-graduate now. We got our independence. We are still in the little problems. You don't eat this, you eat that. If you don't eat it, I'll kill you. If you talk about this, I will beat you. Nations are not built on those foundations. Nations are built on great ideas. And if we want to embrace the international world today, we have to have great international ideas. Otherwise, we will be like any third world nation. Chalo chalta hai, ye bhi chalta hai, ye bhi chalta hai. And we can't make nation into soap opera. We cannot create those spectacles every now and then. I know a spectacle that you are going to watch in Delhi. A musician told me yesterday. ही सर मैं कहाँ थे? अरे रिहर्सल कर रहा था। क्या? अरे रिहर्सल कुछ नहीं, यूं यूं कर रहे हैं, मुझे बजाना नहीं है। ऐसा क्या कह रहे? वो सारंगी बजाता है। कहता है यहाँ होने वाला है एक गिनीज बुक ऑफ रिकॉर्ड्स में एक कॉन्सर्ट होगा यहाँ, जिसमें
Shri Shri.
thousands of musicians will play, but the music is recorded, and they've only got to mime it. Now those are called soap operas. In fact, Brecht has said a beautiful line: "Sad is that country which needs heroes. We need human beings. We don't need these big heroes."
क्या बात है, sir. Finally, would you say something about finally turning towards actually making films?
Well, I try making documentaries, and I like making documentaries on heritage, and Kashmir has taken a precedent on that. I have made one of the two eminent writers there, Kamil Saab, and who passed away recently, 96, and Rahman Rai, a very celebrated writer. Then I made film on Sufyana music of Kashmir called Man Fakiri. Then I have made 2 films on Ladakh. Again, it sort of heritage takes me there. But now I'm thinking of getting a contemporary thing in Kashmir, which is in my head for 2 years bothering me. And if we get some funding or no funding, we are going to do it this year. Otherwise, it will be crowdfunding.
This has been...
No, but
Yeah.
being with Madan, to me is very important. The तारीफ की है ना मेरे पास is that Madan is to lot of us an inspiration. He thinks out of box. I'll tell you 2 instances. When we went to Ayodhya to do that huge concert there for 12 hours at the bank of Shadow River, and who is in the music world and theatre world, everybody came and performed for half an hour. We had to give it a name. Who else could give that name? Only Madan could think of a name. He said Muktanath. And when we did here, artist against communalism and the 92 things were so bad, he gave again a name Anand Garje, which is Kabir Sarikal. But in fact, Sahmat to me, I should mention, has been for me, after my friend's death, Safdar's death, a great university of learning to work with many creative people together and come to a consensus. And that becomes some unique experience. And over 27 years or 26 years we are there, new trends of art have been, apart from doing the cultural, political art, but they are not flimsy, agitprop. They are new ideas, new way of doing, new way of executing, and new grammar breaking and path breaking activities. And it is a great learning to be part of Sahmat that way.
I must say that, this is really wonderful.
We wait for him. Madan kyun nahi aaya maybe.
This is really wonderful because, the work that we've done together in the last 26, 27 years, although it is, at one level it might seem as if we are actually getting into the political space, which is very grim, which is very serious, which doesn't actually allow you many creative possibilities. But I think it has been, even the poetry of resistance, the singing of resistance, and songs about anti-communal songs, for instance, they have been so joyous, I mean, I personally think that the whole joy of singing, for instance, Faiz Ahmed Faiz, or singing Kabir, or singing, the entire, the long list of Sufis, it's been all through for us, been much more than a didactic text. It has been really joyous. And, this is something that I admire in, most of your work, because there is a huge sort of engagement. But this is not engagement at the cost of creating sheer joy. So politics, which is so joyous. So I think this is a good
This
point
needs
to stop and then we take...
No, first a Sufi song, then we'll do this. Karma Wali or this thing which एक होना चाहिए ना हमारा नमूना इतनी तुमने मेरी तारीफ.
Yes, of course. One of the songs that we did in Caucasian Chalk Circle, which was in Punjabi, it is called Parai Cook. And there's a song of waiting, And in that song of waiting, you have Grusha waiting for Simon, and she's washing clothes,
And Simon returns from the war.
and he's to return from war, and she's washing clothes, and at the end of the song, she sees the reflection
Chin in the water.
of Simon
the soldier.
in water. This song was done in a genre which is known as, I mean, if I were to translate it literally, it is the dance of the intoxicated old. Dance of the intoxicated old will be Buddha, old, Bhangra. You know, you are completely soaked in bhang. And so it is the dance of the intoxicated old. It is somewhere on the, the borders of Himachal and Punjab, foothills actually. And this was done in Punjabi. Tall and stately the rosewood trees, through them meanders the river, deep silently. I sit by the river bank waiting for you. Come home somehow. That's the song. And this is how it goes. I'll try. I'm singing it after a long time. And Manjeet Baba used to sing with me, so I am remembering him.
We're all remembering him.
Uchchiyan lammiyan ਟਾਲੀਆਂ ਵੇ ਬੇਲੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੇ ਵਗੇ ਦਰਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਦਰਿਆ ਤੇ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਪਈ ਧੋਵਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਬਹਾਨੇ ਮਿਲ ਜਾ ਤੂੰ ਮੈਨੂੰ किसे बहाने मिल जा So that's the melody.
Now the questions.
Now's the time for you to ask those sharp, brief, witty questions. Don't give opinions.
Yes. Hey, just a minute. We'll have a mic.
Okay.
Because we're recording the whole.
Achha, all right.
Everything is on record.
Everything has to be
You can be
recorded.
accountable later.
You can't go.
Yes.
दो सवाल हैं पहला कि जब आप NST डेज में जब वहाँ थे तो कोई ऐसी शख्सियत जिससे कि आप इंस्पायर थे या इन्फ्लुएंस थे
शख्स
कोई भी शख्सियत ऐसी जिससे आप जो आपको रोल मॉडल मानते थे या उससे इन्फ्लुएंस थे या इंस्पायर थे और दूसरा वो आपने उसका ऑफिसर का नाम नहीं बताया जिसका
हाँ
ये बड़ा मुश्किल सवाल
वो
है।
मुझे भी नहीं याद था। एक दिन मैं IIC में चल रहा हूँ, पीछे से आवाज़ है, रैना साहब कैसे हैं? मैं कहा सर ठीक है, जानता हूँ। नहीं आप हमें पहचाने नहीं हैं। आपको याद है आप मेरे दफ्तर में पंजाब में आए थे और आपकी मेरी बात हुई थी जब वो प्ले बैन आपका हुआ था पढ़ाई को। मैं कहा अरे सर आप हैं वो? तो हाँ मैं ही देख रहा हूँ, तो बहुत मिलते हो, हेलो करते, लेकिन तुझे याद भी नहीं। वो मिस्टर वोहरा थे, गवर्नर ऑफ कश्मीर।
And Vora.
एनएन वोहरा था।
I mean, ये जो गवर्नर है, अरे वाह।
He was it. He told me that this was me.
पर
About NSD,
पढ़े लिखे आदमी है, तो ऐसा क्यों किया उन्होंने?
क्या उन्होंने तो औरतें बचाया, उसने कहा बेटा निकल जा
अच्छा
यहाँ से।
बचाया उन्होंने?
वही है ना जो कहा बेटा यहाँ नहीं रहे, भी मुझे पकड़ना पड़ेगा तुझे। मेरा चीफ मिनिस्टर तो मुझे विश्वास नहीं कर रहा, उसमें गालियाँ नहीं है।
या वो तो चीफ मिनिस्टर का नाम बता दो।
ज्ञानी जैल सिंह ज्ञानी थे। NSD में सी मुझे लगता है वो जो लाइन ऑफ टीचर्स थी, मैं कह रहा हूँ ना आपको, अलकाजी वॉज देयर, शांता गांधी वॉज देयर, जिनसे मैं संस्कृत ड्रामा के बारे में अच्छी तरह से पकड़, और मैं क्योंकि मैं ज़रा सा शैतानी करता था, वो दिखाती थी फिर शकुंतला ऐसे चलेगी और ऐसे आएगी। मैं कहा मैम आपको कैसे पता ऐसे आएगी? चुप, मैंने सुना कर क्या होता है? तो देयर वाज क्वेश्चन, देन आई सॉलिसिटेड वेयर इज द मॉडल, हाउ वुड यू नो दैट दिस वाज डन लाइक दिस? तो उस पर काफ़ी, एंड व्हेन आई sort of reached third year, fourth year, they tolerated me, and there was quite a debate. And there was Nemi Chandrajan, who will give us a vision of IPTA or Indian theatre ki vision. क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा है, what are you doing, and make us to study. हमको बहुत पढ़ाते थे, छोड़ते नहीं थे. पंचानंद पाठक थे जिनका मैं म्यूजिक का जिक्र करा. Then there was Govardhan Panchal, who was a fantastic designer, set designer. उनकी भी centenary last मनाई गई. But they had all come from Gandhian traditions, Iftar traditions, and all kinds of, Shanti Niketan se aaye the log. Now this was the legacy it was being given to us. That was wonderful. आजकल थोड़ा क्या हुआ कि ये जो जॉब का चक्कर हो गया, डिवॉर्फिंग शुरू हो गई. Fits the bill उसको, and when you today I'm not criticizing drama schools, but those kids who are now handling drama don't have that history behind them or awareness of that. I don't blame them, but that's the tragedy.
Yes.
Again, taking you back to the NST days, I was wondering if you could recall some of the perhaps theories of acting or dramaturgy which particularly were influential. Was the method school in vogue those days? Did you get influenced by Grotowski's theory, or was it something?
We used to,
Or was it something more in the context of the ferment of the times which ignited the spark of creativity?
You see, there were limited resources that time, but still we used to get international teachers to teach us. If we had to learn Brecht's assistant director came to teach us, or the Brecht expert will come to teach us. If you had to do Yakshagan, none less than Shivrab Karant will be there for 6 months. If you had to do Nautaki, Giriraj Kishore will come. If it was Bhavai, it was Shanta Gandhi and some Thakur who will come and do it. So it was not a touch and go, and I call it Delhi heart syndrome, to create a mela. Of anything you have to create a mela. So I tell them, give me a phone, I'll create 20 melas within 2 hours. But it was a serious engagement with the people who want it and then the teachers analyzing it for you to understand. See, I tell you, to decode for me Indian traditions, Indian folk theatre was first very difficult. It was foggy, and I used to say it is decadent. इसमें कुछ क्या है इसमें value? But then your teachers would sort of clear this fog for you to see what are the elements, see its structure, take that thing out. Yes, a lot of things were bad in that in terms of value patterns and other. मतलब Jasma Modern play was done by Shanta Gandhi. The tradition में वो सती बनती है. But here it was done, interpretation of that was done, and then we learned. But also very great theatre people that used to visit us was Shubho Mitra, Utpal Dutt. So George, and there will be seminar, will be sitting behind them. क्या बोलेंगे ये लोग? So that was it. Yes, we learned Stanislavski, we learned Brecht, but Brecht caught on. Brecht caught on. I can't tell you how he hit me. Drama school started, Brecht play, etc., etc. I went to Max Verbaum and issued an English translation of 100 poems of Bertolt Brecht. Started literally at 7:30 in the evening, and by 7 in the morning I did all 100 poems. I didn't sleep, but I think I woke up. And I never gave that book back to Max Verbaum. That is still with me. I said no. I give them money after. They send letters, okay, you take money, I've lost it. But point is, then I pursued Russian poets, Mayakovsky, great poets, and then finally did Neruda. But what is these people who think politically about things have to learn these great writers. Apart from they were great writers, they were political in their sense. They were great writers by any definition. So therefore, when we do our work, that cannot be less, because the parameters you take Neruda, you take Faiz Ahmad Faiz, you take Birth, and any kind of systems, they will say, great poets, you can write them. So that principle of creativity, of that genius has to be maintained. Yeah. That is what, I tell you an example. Al-Qazi was teaching us Gorky's Mother, written by Bertolt Brecht as an adaptation. And it's a revolution play about, and he started teaching us Marxism and what is class struggle, that stress. And after it finishes, he says, now don't go out and say that I'm making you a communist. This isn't the play. So, they will teach you.
क्या बढ़िया म्यूजिक था
Yes, sir.
मदर का
Just a minute.
Mike.
Mike will be.
Sorry, sir.
Could you comment on the state of theatre in the last 8 to 10 years? Where it is going, how it has evolved compared to what we saw in the 90s maybe, or even then? But it's certainly changing, and what sort of influences are sort of dominating these days in the theatre?
I think till 80s, well, say it was a very fervent playwriting, great playwriting happening that time. And after that, it's sort of ceased, and we don't have major playwrights today. This has arrived at that. George still calling Girish Karnad, he wrote in 70s. We talk of Ghazi Ram Kotwal, it was done first in 72, now 40 years have passed. And that is a crisis in a way. But as a performer, I say, I think the great thing that has happened to Indian theatre, it is street theatre. I saw for this festival that's happening, Delhi University students coming with amazing work in the street theatre, amazing plays, and the energy and the ideas they came. Radical, to the point, hard hitting, and they bring a lot of visual poetry into that. Otherwise, I think, we may do once a play, now we don't do many plays, is that I have started taking novels. I have done Bhanvat Ki Atmakatha, I have done Karma Wali, I have done Kabhi Na Chhode Khet, I have done poems into theatre. I will not stop performing, but as a playwriting genre, that is in crisis. And I think who will take the notice of it, and how does that crisis gets resolved? We need playwrights actually.
Yes. Yes, there.
Kanishka.
आपने थिएटर में और फिल्म दोनों मीडियम्स में काम किया है. I mean, what are the differences or similarities that you see between mediums? Do you think it's easy to transcend those?
You see, you have to understand the science of cinema. There is a science. There's a lot of science involved in it. There's physics involved in it, the light involved in it, lenses involved in it, machines involved in it, and now the computers involved in it. And if you understand, then you will be able to do something. Otherwise, if you think that what you have learned in theatre, that will translate this, sorry. Theatre is a different business, and television is a different business, cinema is a very different business. This confusion should not be there that because you can do this, no, you can't do it. When I have to do, I have to talk to my cameraman, I have to talk to my editor, and they come with their problems there, and you have to provide that material. You go to, when you edit or when you are up to develop, bhi nahi karte film, now you are on the chip, but still you are working on color, you are working on, many things are there. The light is very important, in taking a shot in the film, and that you have to know that science. I call it sciences are different in both.
रैना साहब मैं एक सवाल पूछूं आपसे.
अरे पूछो जरा.
वो कबीर साहब का एक दोहा है कि सभी ठोर जमात हमारी, सभी ठोर पे मेला, हम सब माए, सभी हम माए, हम हैं बहुरी अकेला. तो ये जो बहुरी अकेला है, जो क्रिएटिव पर्सन है, ये क्या चीज़ होती है? मतलब बाकी सब तो ठीक है, बहुरी अकेला पे आप कब पहुंचते हैं? मतलब पहुंचते तो हैं?
नहीं, पहुंचते तो हैं. वो पीड़ा होती है, वो सीधे नहीं आता. इसको मैं हिंदी में कहूँ, अंग्रेजी में क्या कहूँ. इट्स रियली पेन व्हेन यू गो थ्रू दैट प्रोसेस की. मैं मतलब 2 मिसालें बताऊंगा. ये जो भानवट की आत्मकथा प्ले था, ये बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स नावल. 9 महीने मेरे सिराने रहा ये नावल. रोज़ पढ़ता था मैं, और मेरा का पार्टनर पढ़ता था जो स्क्रिप्ट बनाता. इतनी कॉम्प्लेक्स नावल को आप 2 घंटे 2.5 घंटे में खड़ा करना है आपको, विद इट्स लेयर्स एंड लेयर्स एंड लेयर्स. हाउ डू यू डू इट? उसमें एक रेफरेंस सडनली वो कहता है कि उसमें वो मेन कैरेक्टर है तो सीता की तरह दिखती थी. नाउ if you don't catch these little diamonds which are in the ordinary text message, you will not be able to do it. When I got this Sita business, and this heroine is very close worshipper of Vara. Vara came from Dharti. He made Dharti Kadde. Sita came from Dharti. Now you have to give entry to your heroine. How do you make her enter? First time people watch was big pira for me. How should she be seen coming? How? And I can't say that this is a big video show it, what we did with. I created Vara, churning the ocean, like dragons churning the ocean. And then suddenly this girl doesn't, first comes the Murti of Vara, and then come her hands, and then you see her as an actress or whatever. But to reach to that conclusion, it takes a lot of time. It was a big piece. It was a dance piece almost. लड़के मरते थे वो करते करते that movement, those dragons they had to, which had heads of Vara on them. And then the whole styles push you. Puppets, again they came in a different form, puppets. So I think, but ये सब जब आप करते हैं अब अकेले होते हैं, उस वक्त टीम को आप बाद में कहते हैं कि क्या होगा. This is a moment of being alone, being lonely, and then talking to your mind. And we don't know that mind talks to us, but it talks to you. And you start, nahi yaar nahi do. But if you look quietly, it always says, it's a dialogue, which I learned from Krishnamurti in one of his writings. He says, sit quietly, or our Kashmiri Shavite Lakshman Jogi says, every day morning you should go, you will not meditate, you are very busy, so you take a cup of tea and sit quietly. And mind will start talking to you, and start listening to what he is saying to you, and then start a dialogue with them. And I think in my case, this dialogue happens in the night sometimes, it can happen in the bathroom sometimes, it can happen while I'm driving. And before I used to drive, I used to get a lot of these things. I used to walk from Mandi House to home, to Defense Colony, and I got, nobody is disturbing you. You are walking night mein alone, and walking alone on the pavement, and it cracks.
क्या बात?
It is unlocks. अरे क्या यार ये तो इतना simple था. For example, in अंधा युग, उसमें एक सीन है, let's share that. उसमें एक सीन है कि वो सारे कौरव मर गए, गांधारी, विदुर कहता छोड़ो ये कौरव नगरी, अब क्या रखा है इसमें, just leave this नगरी. And Dhritarashtra leaves, Vidur leads, and Gandhari goes. There's a big song where छोड़ चले कौरव नगरी को निर्जन, कर ले अपने पुत्रों का तर्पण वगैरह. Suddenly that song finishes. Vidur says, महाराज वन में दावाग्नि लगी है, आगे न जाएं. And the Dhritarashtra stops, they stop. After a few minutes, few seconds, Dhritarashtra says to me, ये दावाग्नि नहीं, ये तो ज्योति व्रत है. I was blind to this word for 1.5 months. I didn't know this word, what it meant. In the sense, I knew what it meant. But I had an obsession that every director, why in India, is editing this scene of fire. Any product, Tazi, Mobito, Dube, because a long play. The best thing is this scene used to become victim and easily you can edit it. Tuck, tuck, play moves smoothly. That's the name of the Karuga scene. I don't know how to do it, but I will do it. So joke शुरू हो गया, कैसे करना है पता ही नहीं. And महीना रिहर्सल चली थी, उत्तराजी हुआ ना, गांधारी will tell me always, रहना तो आगे चले ना, हाँ आगे चलो. Drop the scene, go to the next scene. It went for 35 days. And I don't know, in my family, Manju knows it, I started sleeping in the drawing room. On the floor, एक मैंने यार क्या मेरे उस्ताद ने कहा था, चाहे मैंने प्ले नहीं पढ़ा है. I started reading 2 in the morning play. When I read, I know the play by heart even now. This is the word. This is the dawn. Blind man can see his death and is celebrating. He says, "Isi mein to jana hai," and they walk into it. That is the tradition of India. We celebrate our death. Old move, and here yam should come in the form of a flame stream, and I'll create a yam in the flames. And after that, it was technique to be used, how we will use it. We did movement and, with various body movement. It became a movement piece. And then, but the moment I reached the rehearsals, मैं कहा कोई चक्कर कोई rehearsal नहीं, पहले वो scene आज होगा. And then we had drums, we created this scene, and the moment it was done and the people saw it, it's still, considered a wonderful piece of, you can call it a dance theatre movement piece. And it worked like that. And Yam really coming in with the Yamanikas and the flame, dancers flaming, coming in, almost like a garland round them all and taking them. This is Vahan pe leke gaye unko. So it comes through, I don't know, but you should be in it.
Yeah.
ना सनक तो होनी चाहिए.
Yeah, absolutely.
सनक होगी तो तभी ये होगा. सनक बहुत जरूरी है. हाँ.
May I share something? And
Yeah, go ahead. No.
I have worked with MKSA for over 8 years, I think. My first project after graduating from NSD was the same IMD Aditi, who has been referred to.
Yeah.
One thing I would like to share and share with everyone and also refer to what Madan ji was saying कि ये बहुत खतरनाक आदमी है ऐसा लगता है उनके साथ जो काम करते हैं. I think ये एक ऐसे टीचर हैं, that's one aspect I can highlight of his, जो शायद आपको ये सिखाते हैं कि खतरा हिम्मत से बड़ा कभी नहीं हो सकता. So we have
सही बात.
We've been with him in Kashmir, we've been with him through sessions where our car has been pelted. I've been with him to Kerala, Lucknow, I don't know, half of India we've traveled together. And apart from the skill that he has injected in me as a theatre maker, as his student, I think is his courage, which all of us carry. And that is the inspiration that he is for all of us. And I speak for most of the students who are there.
वाह, क्या बात है.
That's all?
Last
Yeah, last question. Last.
I'm just taking a cue from what she said कि आप ऐसा सिखाते हैं कि खतरा जो है ये आपको नहीं लगता कि ये अब चेंज आ गया है? पहले ऐसा होता था कि आपके तरह के थिंकर्स, और आप तीनों की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, अभी भी हम लोग जो है वो आप लोगों से कभी भी आपको पकड़ के कहीं भी कुछ भी डिस्कस कर लेते हैं, आपसे सवालात पूछ लेते हैं जिसके आप बहुत खुश होकर जवाब देते हैं. तो आपकी जनरेशन के थिंकर्स और स्कॉलर्स जो हैं वो एक तरह से इंटरैक्ट करते थे नौजवान तबके से और अपना ये फ़र्ज समझते थे कि अपनी जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, जो इंटेलेक्ट है, वो औरों तक पहुंचाया जाए. लेकिन आज का जो साहब थिंकर है, जो मॉडर्न थिंकर है, वो एक बड़े हाई पेडेस्टल पे बैठा है, जिसको मेरे पास आना है वो आओ, मैं तो कहीं नहीं जा रहा. ये फ़र्क आपको नजर आ रहा है क्या आजकल कि वो किसी तरह से अपने फ़र्ज से या अपनी उस फिराकदिली से जिससे आप लोग काम लेते थे नहीं ले रहा है?
एक मौजूद शेर भी तो पढ़ दीजिए ना इस पे आप तो मतलब
एक रैना साहब के लिए.
हाँ, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
हमें भी सुन ले हुजूम में गिरिया कि हम वही हैं जो आसमानों से सुराग लाए थे उन सवेरों का जिनको सूरज की पहली किरणों ने गुस्ल बख्शा.
क्या बात है.
Thank you, sir. जवाब क्या दो मैं? जवाब यही है कि भाई उनको कहना ही है. We must crack. See, I tell you, I never knew Niharanjan Ray, but I heard his speech once on the Mughal art. And I found an opportunity, I want to have a dialogue with him. And I found him, I was working in Andhra University, and he was delivering lecture, and he was the same guest. I walked into him. I said, sir, you have to walk, come there, sir. He says, तुम कौन हो? मैंने कहा, मैंने आपको सुना, दिल्ली में ऐसा सुना. You talked. And then started dialogue with him in the evening for 7 days, and you have to, I think youngsters also don't want to walk. They want a shortcut.
सही बात है.
यही तो प्रॉब्लम है ना. भाई खाना इतनी जल्दी थोड़ी बनता. अच्छा मास्टर शेफ ही करता है ना वो सब काम.
मैं अपनी बात बताऊं, मैं 17 बरस का था तब मैंने हिंदी के 3 बड़े कवियों से संपर्क करना शुरू कर दिया. छोटे शहर में था, लेकिन छोटे शहर में रहने के बावजूद सब उन्होंने कहा खतरा जो भी हो वो हिम्मत से बड़ा तो नहीं हो सकता. तो मैंने अज्ञे को बुलाया छात्र संघ का उद्घाटन करने.
वाह.
He was only 47. गजानन माधव मुक्ति बोध का पहला व्याख्यान हमारे विश्वविद्यालय में हमने कराया. शमशेर बहादुर सिंह को बुलाना चाहते थे, वो आ नहीं पाए. पर 20 बरस की उम्र में, 19 बरस की उम्र में जब मैं दिल्ली आया तो मैं इन तीनों से संपर्क में था. इन तीनों से मिलके बात कर सकता था. उनको मुझसे बात करने में संकोच नहीं था, मुझे भय नहीं था। तो ये तो इस पर भी है कि कोई हम में कोई सुरखाब के पर तो लगे नहीं थे, हम भी वैसे ही दुम छल्ले थे जैसे बाकी होते हैं। अब आजकल के इसी हम लोग ये भी था कि शायद ये था कि हमको अपने व्यावसायिक रूप का बहुत ख्याल नहीं था कि हम ये हैं या हम वो हैं या फलाने हैं या हम दिखाने हैं, जबकि सेंट स्टीवेंस में पढ़ने वाले को ये होना चाहिए। तो दुनिया के सबसे नकचढ़े लोग होते थे, लेकिन उसके बावजूद ये ख्याल नहीं था। और बड़े से हम लोग, स्टीफन स्पेंडर यहाँ आए टॉल्स्टॉय की 50वीं पुण्यतिथि पर, तो मैक्सिमम भवन में एक सेमिनार था, हम जाके उनसे मिले और उनसे बात की। और मेरे पास एक अंगूठी थी जिसमें स्वस्तिक बना हुआ था, जिसने उनको बहुत ही, हम कहा कि ये देखो हमारा स्वस्तिक नाचियों के स्वस्तिक से उल्टा है, स्वस्तिक तो है। तो इस तरह के लोग थे। एक तो हिम्मत की बात है, और दूसरा ये है कि जिसमें हिम्मत नहीं है उसके पास और क्या होने वाला है। और थोड़ी उद्दंडता, मतलब अपने सच पर जिद करके अड़े रहने की आदत, और अकेले पड़ जाने से न घबराना। अब आजकल सब भजन कीर्तन मंडली चलती है, हम चल रहे हैं तो हमारे पीछे 5 और चले, तब तो बात हुई। हम अकेले जा रहे हैं तो जैसे अकेले लोग, दुनिया मित्रवर अकेले लोगों ने ही बदली है,
सही बात,
उन्होंने बदली है जो अकेले पढ़ने से घबराते नहीं। So many thanks for being here. It was, I think, we did not even mind what's the time. It has been more than 1.5 hours we have been at it, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. So thank you very
wonderful.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll have the next Art Matters here on the 17th of March, when Geeta Kapoor, the doyen of art criticism, will be in conversation. On 18th March, that is the very next day, we have the Habib Tanveer Memorial Lecture in Habitat Center, Gulmohar Hall, to be delivered by Shanta Gokhale. Then we have the Agay Memorial Lecture on 4th April, again at the Gulmohar Hall, to be delivered by the Malayali poet K. Sachidanandan. And the last, I think, for this season, Art Matters, when we close up for the 2 very hot months, will be a conversation on 12th April with A. Ramchandran, talking to, or being talked to, by Rubina Karode. So you're all most welcome. And I can tell you, you will enjoy all of them, just as you enjoyed this evening. So do come, forget about your other engagements.
Thank you.
They are not worth it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.